Dr. Philip-Neri here, performance psychologist. What I'm going to talk today about is accountability. And the reality is accountability is a two-way street, right? At one fork in the road, there's accountability of aka the company or the team, the leaders that represent the decision makers. So that's one point of accountability. The second fork of accountability, so the second road is basically the athlete, the employee, and their personal responsibility to be accountable. Now, what happens oftentimes is one's always blaming the other, right? So a leader of a company or a coach will be like, well, they're just not getting it. They're not fixing it. They're not doing what I'm telling them to do. They're not creating results. They're not creating the change. And then if I interview the athlete or the subordinate, the employee, etc., they're like, well, they want results, but they're not giving me the tools. They're not telling me how they want me to accomplish it. It's unrealistic expectations. How in the world would I expect to accomplish that? So there's miscommunication and there's blame that's getting pointed both ways, right? So let's talk about a solution to how to create an environment of professional accountability where it's fair. So first of all, leaders, you've got to have clarity. People have to know what is expected. They got to know where you stand. They got to know the direction you're going. It's got to be clear. There cannot be no fuzziness, no fogginess. It cannot create chaos. And it cannot be this stupid pie in the sky that doesn't even have any tangibility. Quit with that nonsense. Quit with, this is my call and I know we're going to do this. That's all bullshit. Give people clear direction that's step by step by step by step by step so they know what's expected of them. Next is you got to be consistent. So because something doesn't work, you can't freak out or change things too quickly. It takes time to develop X, Y, Z. Think about a toddler walking. Think about somebody playing sports. Thinking about your own life, right? You have to have enough reps to be able to tweak things, to be able to see the change or say, okay, let's do this differently, etc. So you can't be inconsistent from day to day, week to week, meeting to meeting, because guess what? There's no clarity anymore, right? You got to be clear and be consistent. Next one is you can't freak out. As a leader, you can't be a basket case, and there's no other way to put it, right? So if you're not good under pressure, if you're not good with getting results or deadlines, well, how well do you think your team is going to be? Your team is going to be an utter basket case if you're a basket case. Yeah, and I know I'm coming on a little hard here, but it's the reality. It's the reality. So you also have to take responsibility for being stable and creating a stable culture, period. That's your job. That's your duty. That's your role, right? And the last one is, when you give people feedback, my God, it's got to be about something people can change, and they got to have the tools to be able to create the change. So you can't just say you got to do better. What the hell does you got to do better mean? That has no performance metrics. There's no KPI with you got to do better, right? So start breaking stuff down into small, minute things that somebody can change, and then build a plan of change that's actually attainable. And you can check the boxes, and your people can check the boxes, and you can move forward step by step by step by step by step. So that's your responsibility, right? That's your responsibility as a leader, as a CEO, as a C-suite, as a manager, as a team leader. I don't care what your role is, as a coach. That's your responsibility. So quit passing the buck, putting blame on the other party if you're not owning your own stuff. Now, the athlete, the employee, the subordinate, etc. Guess what? You got to wake up too, and you got to start taking personal responsibility. You have to start taking personal responsibility. And I'm going to ask you, do you even understand what you're supposed to do? And are you putting in 100% effort? It's not 110, 120. Are you putting in 100% effort with everything that you got to do? Or are you lackadaisical? Are you lackadaisical, right? You can't be lackadaisical. You've got to take personal responsibility that this is your job or this is your role, and where are your weaknesses and what do I have to do to improve? You can't put everything on the company or everything on the leader. You also have to say, I want to be the best I can be. right? And if you start having that attitude, everything will change for you. Everything will change for you. And then quit making excuses. Like, oh, I didn't know. Oh, no, I don't know. Like, oh, I don't know. Well, maybe. No, that's all bullshit too, right? And that's the thing about high stakes environments like SWAT teams, fire, special operations, high level athletic teams. There's a lot of personal accountability. There's no excuses. There's absolutely no excuses. There's personal accountability, and you got to own it. So no laissez-faire, weak language of, oh, I didn't know, like, I don't know, because now, granted, if your leader is failing, that's a different story. But let's just say your leader is on point and you're the lazy person. You're the one that's not invested. Well, then quit making excuses. Now, let's talk about feedback and emotional fragility, per se. Just because somebody tells you that you need to do something different or you did something wrong, whether they say it in a meeting, as long as they're not dehumanizing you, degrading you, and making you feel like 1 cent, you got to own it. Quit being so weak. Seriously, quit being so weak. You got to own it. You got to wear it. You made a mistake, and especially if it's been repped out many times. So that's where people are like, okay, when you consult, in law enforcement, corrections, athletics, like, well, what's the message? Well, the message is in all those environments, there's a lot of personal accountability, and it's publicly handled many times, and you just own it and you move forward, and we're done. We're done. No one's holding grudges. We're just going to fix it and we're going to move forward. So you can't play this game of, well, oh, my leader confronted me in front of 5 of my peers. Be quiet. Be quiet. If they were professional and they gave you solid feedback and you screwed up, take it. Just take it and move on. Change the behavior. Because you're also part of the problem if you can't take feedback. And if you can't take feedback, get out of there because you're also hurting their overall mission. And the next one, it goes just into ownership, right? Quit passing blame, right? Again, I feels like I'm beating a dead horse, but you can't blame others for everything. You can't blame others for everything. So when you look at this, and if you had an organizational culture where you realized accountability is two-way, and the company and the leaders are going to fix the way they are held accountable, and employees, the athletes, etc., are going to fix the way they are held accountable, and it's going to be things with clear expectations, consistent standards, good communication, especially under pressure, right? Tools, enough reps, support, practicing the hard times. So like in sales, yeah, doing scripts training, it sucks. Objection handling, yeah, it sucks. Because you're pushing yourself out of your comfort zone. And a lot of guys that are very fluid, they're like, oh, I don't need that practice. Yeah, that's fair. Some people don't. Like they're just very good. But a lot of people do, right? And what I would tell you is even if you're good, it doesn't hurt you to keep going back to the foundation, right? Think about, again, elite athletes, elite shooters and things of that nature. They go back to the foundation all the time. So if you're a top level sales guy, don't lead by example, right? Lead from the front. Don't be afraid to go back to the trenches of where you started 20, 30 years ago, okay? And so now if you think about that and then ask yourself, what can I do differently? What effort can I put out more? Could I listen to podcasts? Could I read books? Could I ask to attend a seminar? Could I do things that make me more personally accountable that also increases my skill set? Imagine what your guys' culture would look like, right? Imagine what it would look like. So it's simple. Fix the clarity, fix the expectations, fix the ownership, quit blaming one another, and guess what you have? You have cohesion. And if you have cohesion, you have performance. And if you have performance, you end up having culture. It's not difficult. It's not difficult. Would love to hear your thoughts. Reach out if I can help you. Dr. Al Philip-Neri, performance psychologist. I'm here to help. I want to make your team indestructible.